Hello, how are you? So, I know it's been a hot minute since I have posted, but life is life and sometimes things happen. I decided that for this set, we're going to do readings to see exactly how that solar eclipse that happened on the 4th is affecting the different groups of signs. So, how it's affecting sun signs, or not, excuse me, not sun signs, but how it's affecting earth, air, water, and fire signs. And I'll group them together. Um, a lot of the reason why I haven't posted in probably close to 2 weeks now is because I have been super busy with my day job. As many of you know, I work for a law firm, and this week my attorney, or one of my attorneys, is in jury trial. So there's that. But I did want to get new content up, and I am excited to announce that I am working with a marketing person who is going to help expand the platforms that I'm on and help me get out there and help me to expand the forums that I am on and the number of people that I'm reaching, so that way I can help more people. Also, as many of you are aware, the whole reason why I got back into reading and posting on YouTube is in memory of my late son, who's the anniversary of his death is coming up in about 10 days from now. So, in memory of my dear little boy Jaden, I'm back to it. And he is the biggest reason why I don't just sometimes let work overwhelm my life or my personal life overwhelm things, and I do post content. I'm working on getting a little bit better on posting a little bit more regularly. So, with that being said, let's get to it. How is that solar eclipse affecting air signs? So first off, let's just do a basic rundown of what a solar eclipse means on a astrological level for all signs. And this isn't even me reading, it's just a simple basic understanding of what solar eclipses mean. Generally, a solar eclipse gets into the beginnings of stuff. It's the beginnings of new cycles. It's the beginnings of new karmic journeys. It's the beginnings of new relationships. There's a lot of truths that come to light. There are a lot of things that perhaps were in shadow before that are moving into the light now. Now, that's important to understand as you look at how it might affect you and how it might affect your sign in particular. Also, I want to kind of go into the fact that if what I'm reading maybe doesn't resonate with your sun sign, look at the posting for your lunar or your rising sign. And the reason for that is because sometimes your lunar or your rising sign is a little bit more prevalent in your chart than just your sun sign. So a lot of times I've had people come to me and tell me, what you read for my sun sign really wasn't all that accurate, but man, what you read for my lunar sign was dead on. Or you hit it with laser accuracy for my for my rising sign. It's been a long day, guys. So do check it out and check out for what you are. So I actually have a nifty little app that I like to use, or excuse me, a web page that I go to when determining somebody's rising sign or their lunar sign or any of those things. It's pretty accurate, and it also explains where your north node was or what the other planets were and where their alignments were during the event of your birth, when it was where all this where all of the signs were tracking. Obviously needed to grab coffee before I decided to shoot this. That's okay though. So I'm just focusing on how this solar eclipse is affecting air signs. We're almost done shuffling. We've got about 3 more. And as per my usual, I'll hold the cards up so that way you guys can see the cards as I flip them. We've got about 2 more. About time for me to break out another deck. These ones are getting pretty worn. 1 more. And this is air signs. So, first card, and I'm just going to flip 5 cards. That'll give me a pretty good idea as to how this is going to affect you. If we need to flip a few more, we can flip a few more. So, air signs. The first card is the 7 of Swords reversed. I upgraded my phone, so the pictures are coming out a little bit better, I think. The next one is the 8 of Wands. And I seem to have put all of these the same direction, so bear with me for a second because I am going to reshuffle. I need this to give me both right side up and upside down. Give me just a second. We're gonna get a little bit more accurate if I can read both right side up and upside down. So to do this, when I shuffle and I cut the deck, and it's getting close to being done, it doesn't want to be shuffled, but I just turn it and I rotate it a few times as I'm shuffling it, and that will help to kind of shake it up, make it a little bit more accurate. Because nothing in life is all roses and rainbows, or is it darkness and skulls. So we're just looking at things. I want to see both the good and the bad. Alrighty, I feel like we're done now. Now let's get to it. Air signs. Alrighty, 5 of Swords reversed. This feels better. We have the 7 of Swords reversed. We have the Justice card. We have the Novice of Wands. And we have the Elder of Swords. You guys are really kind of struggling with this. For air signs, I really feel like there is a lot of things that you kind of hoped would stay maybe hidden in the background and not come to light. You have some secrets that you weren't really ready for them to be made not private. And so it's caused some animosity. And some of you have really kind of wanted to just run, and you feel almost bound. You feel, in some senses of the word, trapped, like you can't leave. You want to, you just can't. And so that's causing a feeling of being trapped with this. However, as some of you have figured out how to kind of breathe with it and kind of go with the flow with it, you're realizing that things aren't as bad as what you had initially thought. There isn't as much fallout as what you had initially anticipated. There is definitely, some balancing of the scales per se. There is definitely some adjustment, and some viewpoints have been manipulated, I guess would be the right word to say. Some of you were really thinking that things were one way when they weren't. And this is more, I'm not getting romantic relationships. A lot of this for you is on a work level. A lot of you are having that sense that things aren't always quite what they seem at work. And so with that new awareness, now you have the ability to take charge and to move forward. However, be prepared that there is someone who is somebody who you trust that is on their way out. So it's time to kind of shake up those alliances, and who you look up to, maybe a work mentor or whatnot, and shift that. There is someone who is really somebody that has been looked up to, who is thinking of either finding another job or retiring or whatever. And so that is something that was not anticipated that has now come to the forefront. Let's see where else this goes. Okay, so 8 of Chalices. This also shows that there is some movement in place. Can you hear my puppy? He wants attention. This is an emotional move. This isn't something that was easy to do. I would say, for those of you who were considering looking for another job, that, and it's been kind of a rough and rocky road of it, understand that a lot of the emotional ties that go into that are still going to be there. And the ones that you have really struggled with are just going to kind of fall by the wayside. The next card is the Four of Wands right side up. So that move that you've been wanting to make, and this is more, I know it's a relationship looking card, but the Four of Wands is right on target with everything else. As far as our career sector goes, those new alliances and those new people that are coming in, it'll be a happy and symbiotic relationship. It's not going to be anything that's going to cause a whole lot of turmoil, and it's not anything that's going to cause a whole lot of rift within the company. It is more something that is just kind of a natural course of events, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes, while change can really suck, it is also a necessary evil. So, I feel like we need to flip one more card. And, okay, so this is the Nine of Wands right side up. Typically, if I were doing some sort of spread that was a travel type of spread, I would say maybe be careful. That is not the case with this one. With this one, this is a anticipate with that work shakeup that there is also going to be a shakeup as far as finances are concerned, and that wages will definitely be adjusted with the company shakeups. So that's something to be anticipatory of, but not something to necessarily be worried about. Just kind of maybe watch your paychecks for a little while you figure things out. So let's move on to earth signs. How is the eclipse, that solar eclipse, affecting earth signs? As I am going to continue to shuffle here. Bear with me for just a quick minute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is earth signs. How is the eclipse affecting you guys? So, first card, Ace of Pentacles, right side up. Next card, Six of Swords, right side up. Then we have the Fool. Next is the Three of Pentacles, and that one is reversed. And next we have the Six of Pentacles, reversed. This card, or excuse me, spread, is something that is, again, more work related. This is something that is clearly showing that those new beginnings that you were hoping for, that you were wanting and you were looking forward to and all of that, is you're learning quickly that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Things aren't as smooth as you were hoping. That transition isn't going as smoothly as you wanted. And really, you kind of feel like you're almost being made to look dumb. Looking back retrospectively, you look like, honestly, I rarely read the Fool in this position, but you look like kind of just a fool, to be honest with you. And your finances are definitely taking a hit because of the choices that you made. However, that's not to say that it's all bad. It's just to say that the financial choices that you made right around the eclipse were not necessarily the best ones that you could have made at that point in time, and perhaps you might have needed to have waited just a little bit longer. But let's see what else is coming. So, Things are going to start to even out. They are going to start to actually look up. It's just going to take it a little bit to get there. So have some patience, because it is actually going to go the way you want it to go. It's just going to take some tenacity and some, what's the word I'm looking for, Scout, huh? I totally had a mind fart. It's going to take really buckling down and really just kind of putting your nose to the grindstone and really doing it, which is great because earth signs are good at that anyways. Earth signs tend to be really good at being super dedicated and headstrong and stubborn. And this is one of those situations where being stubborn is going to go really, really well for you. And this is another indicator that things are going to look up. It's just going to take you a little bit of time to get there through that transitionary phase. And this card is the Initiative of Pentacles, right side up. So traditionally on a spread like this is one where you literally, I'm surprised I'm not seeing a Tower card in the spread, because it's like you decided to take the dice, shake them, toss them out, see where they laid, and then move forward and make your choices that way. And that's actually, I know I said that this is an earth card spread, but really this feels like a fire. This feels like a fire sign spread. So it's possible that it can affect both. We'll see. Earth signs really, really do well with a lot of structure. And I feel like the non-structure of the changes, whether it be jobs or finances, maybe you decide to play the stock market, whatever, those changes have shaken things up enough that you really have kind of struggled with that. However, that end section, the end of the job, is not something that you need to go back to. Some of you are saying if you switch jobs, you're really thinking twice about it, and you are really debating, maybe I should go back, ask for my job back, whatever. And I'm telling you, this is not the time to do that. This is a death card, and it is reversed, which tells me that's the end of that cycle. It is the end of you having to deal with all of that BS on that during that transition. You just need to dig in your heels and get tough. You really need to just put on the blinders and move forward. Kind of just push through those trenches. So now let's do, we've done air and we have done earth. Let's do our water signs. So we're going to give it about 5 shuffles. I have 3 after this. And this is water signs. And how is the eclipse affecting you guys? And we'll get a little bit more into this. Ow, Scout. And get a little bit more into doing readings and stuff this weekend. I will get some more content up. But for now, let's focus on how this is affecting water signs. Okay, first card, the Chariot, and it is reversed. Then we have the Four of Swords, right side up. Initiate of Wands, also right side up. We have the Ace of Pentacles, this time reversed. Next, we have the Two of Chalices, right side up. And this spread, I can already tell we're going to do more than just 5. We have the Initiate of Swords, reversed. You can hear the pupper in the background, I'm sure. And the Ten of Wands, right side up. Okay, so let's look at this spread as a whole. Would you please pet him? So, this is our water signs. You guys are really an emotional lot, aren't you? So things kind of came in like a bull in a china shop. It really kind of just shook things up a little bit for you guys. And a lot of you were left trying to figure out who you could actually trust, who you can't trust, and how you need to move forward next in your life. So, and I'm looking at the Chariot Reversed, and I'm looking at the Four of Swords right side up. Both of those cards are ones that say that the solar eclipse is still affecting you right now, and it will probably continue to affect you for a little bit in the future. The Initiative Wands says that some of these situations are ones that you kind of brought on yourself. I think a lot of you saw it coming and you decided, okay, well, let's just deal with this sooner rather than later, whatever this may be. A lot of you are really, it really does seem to be the season for wanting to switch jobs. And a lot of you are really wondering, am I being paid what I'm worth? Am I being valued at where I work? Am I really worth that much to my company? And I'm telling you that you're better than you think you are, and that the situation isn't quite as bad as it seems. You really need to just kind of keep going and pushing through it. We all have rough spots in our work history. We all have rough spots in where we work, and you need to just kind of try and remove that emotional aspect out of it. I understand that's hard. Water signs really tend to have a difficult time with emotions and separating them from their day-to-day life. However, excuse me, this is a time that is really necessary for you to do that in order for you to plow forward and move ahead in your endeavors. This is one where a lot of you are really, really focused on your finances. I know it's Christmas time and there are a lot of you who are really struggling. You're trying to juggle. How are you going to make your monthly bills and yet still provide a happy Christmas for your families? That's all right. Things will work out. You just have to have a little bit of faith in the universe and faith in your ability to manifest what you need. The universe will always provide what you need. You just have to be aware and ask for it. I think we're almost done with this. Yep. Okay. Last, we have our fire signs. So let's see how the eclipse is affecting the fire signs. And I realize I am kind of plowing right through this. I will post longer and more in-depth content this weekend, but I did want to get something up, and I did want to kind of discuss how the solar eclipse is affecting everybody. So we have about 2 more on the fire signs. And 1 more on the fire signs. What you guys can't see off camera is my 2 dogs laying on my husband's lap, and they're kind of really wanting attention because, well, mom's shooting a video. Go figure, right? Alrighty, fire signs. How is the eclipse affecting you? Excuse me, my throat's getting a little scratchy. First and foremost, we have that 10 of Pentacles reversed. Next, we have the Hierophant right side up. This is that fiery nature coming through on the fire signs. Next, we have the Elemental of Swords. We have the Empress right side up. We have the 3 of Pentacles right side up. We'll see if we need any more cards after this. So the 10 of Pentacles reversed says that you really are kind of struggling with your work life. You are really feeling like you are not paid enough to do this job. You are really kind of struggling with whether or not you're just going to say, screw it, I'm done with this. I'm going to move on to something else where I feel a little bit more appreciated and whatnot. However, with looking at all of that, and I'm seeing that with the 10 of Pentacles reversed and the Hierophant, and everything is fiery, and that's what fire signs are notorious for. Most of us have a really strong personality, and we tend to be really kind of blunt. We really like to kind of not necessarily challenge things, but we like to challenge a lot of different thought structures and belief systems. And really, there are some of you that are just frankly ticked off. I'm keeping this PC because, well, we all have FDC regulations that we have to abide by. But there are some of you that are just really tired of the work politics. You're tired of the drama, you're tired of the BS, and so on. Now is not the greatest time to jump ship. There is some of you who are really kind of butting heads on some of your work relationships. Do know that it is going to get better. It will get better. However, you just kind of got to get through the next month or so in order for that to happen. The Empress, which is a motherly card, it is a very female card, it is a very nurturing card, is one that kind of helps to soften some of that a little bit, because it makes it so it isn't quite so harsh and so crass and so in your face. The Three of Pentacles right side up, this card, says that those those financial opportunities are going to come in. It's just some of those things that you just kind of have to let that wheel turn. You have to really kind of put the, what's the word I'm thinking of? You really kind of sometimes have to put things into perspective for people. Fire signs are great at doing that. And it's the putting things into perspective that is really going to pay off in the end for the fire signs, especially on a financial level, because a lot of you are really going to get to the point where you just look at your boss and you say, okay, you know what? I'm done. This is what I need if you want me to stay. And it's going to end up paying off. Looking at this, we have the Novice of Pentacles and the Elemental of Chalices. I'll hold each card individually up, so that way you can see them. So this says that though, when you really kind of put it on the line and say enough is enough, if you want me to stay, you need to start paying me what I'm worth. You need to do this for me. I will do this for you, and so on and so forth. It's kind of a clearing of the air, so to speak, and it'll actually help to even things out at work. That's extremely important, especially for fire signs, because fire signs tend to hate feeling like they're being and closed in. They don't like to feel claustrophobic, and they don't like to feel like the air that they're breathing is stagnant. So this is a good time to have that conversation with your boss. Let's look at the remainder of the week. I'm just going to do quick all signs, and we'll see as a general group how Friday and Saturday are going to look for everybody kind of moving forward as a collective as we start to move away from that solar eclipse. Remember, a solar eclipse is a lot of new beginnings, and I really feel like it's affecting finances grossly in general, but I also feel like there's a few of you whose relationships, and I mean like romantic relationships, have been affected directly. So let's see. We'll see what comes up. And maybe I'll do romance spreads this weekend just to kind of see. One more. Remember, guys, this is just an all signs to see what's to expect over the next couple of days. We are going to flip 3 cards. First card, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Everybody is thrilled that the week is coming to an end, and a lot of the turmoil and the chaos and the BS, you can finally just let it go and dump it and be done with it, because we're finally through that first official week in December. Elemental of Swords. This is where all of that new communication and that new talkings and airing things out is coming into play. This card in particular, excuse me, is extremely important on the romantic aspect, guys. You have to communicate with your significant other. You have to let them know what you're thinking and how you feel. However, you can go about it and doing it in such a way where you're not going to put your significant other on the defensive. That is extremely important. Communication is a very big thing over the next few days. And next we have the Empress Reversed. So that communication I was talking about, if you guys don't work on really kind of speaking and trying to use I feel statements instead of you do this and you piss me off and da-da-da-da, you are going to end up with communication breakdowns, which is going to do nothing but serve to cause you a lot of heartache. It's going to cause you a lot of stress. It's going to cause you a lot of anxiety, none of which any of you need, none of which I need. But I feel like the communication is the biggest thing that you guys need to focus on and worry about over the next few days. And we will definitely get into doing romance type spreads and focusing on that this weekend, because the next card that I pulled is the Ace of Chalices, and it is right side up, which is always a good sign, especially when we're doing relationship type readings. So with all of that, this is just a quick little spread to get everybody through the next few days, see how the eclipse is affecting all of you and how it's affecting your respective signs, whether you are earth, air, fire, or water. I look forward to seeing you all this weekend, and watch for a notice to come up from me, because I will let everybody know when my next live is going to be, as soon as I kind of hammer it out with my mods as to which one of them can be on or which ones of them can be on. So we'll get that hammered out as well. I'm also planning in the near future on doing another channeling live, so keep watching. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button and please hit the subscribe button. I will see you all soon. Love and light to you.